He loves me. He loves me not. Only one way to find out. War of the Roses on KDWB.
Good morning, Emily.
Good morning.
Tell me your story. What's going on?
Honestly, this might be the weirdest War of the Roses yet. I don't honestly know if you guys can use it or not, but yeah, okay. So, my boyfriend Ryan, I was just on his phone recently. I was just wanting to forward a picture of us together outside to my phone.
Yeah.
We trust each other. It's no big deal. So anyway, I was on his phone and I'm going to the videos and pictures and I land on like a video that's a picture of a boob. And
Okay.
I'm like, what? Okay, what's this? So I play it and it's his coworker, pressing breast milk out of her boob. I don't even know how to say it because I've never had a kid. And squirting it into his coffee, and he's laughing.
Okay, wait. Okay, so
I know.
Okay,
I know.
So
I know.
Can we use this one? Because this is a little bit dicey.
Well,
I don't know if we can actually use this one or not.
You're telling me this is more dicey than certain things we've done.
Well, you do have a point. There's nothing bad or dirty. Just a little, it arouses some questions.
All the above.
So back up for a second. So you open this up and there's a boob and it's his coworker and you know his coworker. She is squirting breast milk into coffee. Go on, continue, pick up the story from there.
Yeah, so obviously I confronted my boyfriend and I was like, what is this video? What is this about? And he laughed about it. He was so light and not offensive at all. He said they had gone to get coffee at Caribou and his coworker mentioned that she'd start using her own breast milk and her coffee. And they joked and he was like, oh my God, do it for me. And so he took a video of it because he thought it was such a funny thing. And he was like, he told me, he was like, it's nothing sexual. You guys, all I'm thinking is not only is this weird, but that is really intimate. You've got to be intimate to see your coworker's boob.
Well, I was going to say, not only to drink the breast milk, to consume the breast milk, that's intimate.
Yep.
But also, if it was totally innocent and normal-ish, you'd be like, okay, look the other way, or I'm going to go in the bathroom and do this or whatever, but you wouldn't pull out the boobie. Am I right?
No, you don't just whip out a boob for your coworker.
No.
Nonetheless, whip out your phone to record it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I even said to him, I was like, listen, the third thing is on top of all of that, if that weren't enough, I was like, yo, if it was such a funny story, how did you not tell it to me?
Yeah.
That was almost the biggest red flag in that moment. I was like, I mean, that is a unique thing to come home from work and just be like, how was your day? And you're like, oh, it's fine. You would remember that.
You would remember that. And if it was really innocent, you would be like, okay, Carla down at work, you know what she did?
Correct.
Would, okay. So you're jumping a little bit to conclusions, but with validity, there might be something going on here.
Yeah. So I just that's why I'm calling you guys. Because I'm just this is weird. This isn't normal. What's going on? What is Ryan doing?
Let's see if we can justify this. Can you justify this in any way? Let's say Bailey. Let's say you and one of the women from sales.
Yeah.
You're on a Caribou run and she's like, I put breast milk in my coffee. Do you want to try it?
It'd be different because I'm a woman.
Different
so.
women.
But would it still be very intimate, don't you think?
Well, yeah,
You're drinking a bodily fluid.
I'm just thinking if it was Jenny and Jenny says, Bailey, watch, I'm going to put breast milk into this coffee. I'd be like, oh, heck yeah. But
between us
it's definitely different. It's just different because it's a man and he kept a video of it on his phone and didn't say anything. That's what makes it weird.
Okay.
Bingo.
Okay. And so he is sticking to his guns oh my God, he's got to admit that you're not really overreacting because if I came home with that, Susan would be like, what the F is this? Okay.
Yeah.
And you know her name clearly.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So we will wait for the name Emily on War of the Roses. So we'll call and Jenny will trap him into sending roses to somebody. And then he should definitely say Emily, nobody else, and especially not the coworker.
Yes. Fingers crossed, guys.
All right. We'll find out what he does on probably the weirdest War of the Roses in a long time. Coming up next. Hold on, Emily, okay?
Okay.
And now, the dramatic conclusion of War of the Roses. Well, a girl can hope. 101.3 KDWB.
All right, if you'd missed this one, it was a head turner, a head shaker. Jaw dropper. That's a good one. Basically, she is seeing a guy, and she picks up his phone because there's a picture on his phone that she wants to send to herself. Now, there is ample evidence that he's not guilty by the fact that he doesn't put a lock code on his phone.
Yeah.
Or she knows it.
Yeah.
So she opens his phone. She's scrolling through this picture, sees a picture of a boob. It's a video of a boob, so she plays it, and it is his coworker. They're in the car. She is espressing breast milk into his coffee. God. And she's like, "What is this?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, I forgot to tell you about that one." So she puts breast milk in her coffee, and she said, "Do you want to try it?" So we're at Caribou, and so she takes the cap off, pulls the boob out, puts the breast milk in there. That's kind of funny. Ha, ha, ha. And she's like, "No, it's weird." And it is weird.
It is weird.
Because it's a coworker. If it was her, that'd be a different story. And then the fact that he didn't say anything about it.
Yeah. Like he didn't think to be like, haha, this was a funny thing that happened at
People
work.
on texting are just like, what the heck? I would murder my boyfriend if he did something like that.
Someone texted and saying, "Who's the father of the baby?" I can't imagine he would find it funny either.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I hadn't even thought about that one. So we're going to make the phone call and see who he sends the roses to on War of the Roses on KDWB.
That's all the time I needed from you today, Ryan. Like I said, I do have a dozen romantic roses to send out for taking the time to do the survey. So what I'll need from you next is, who do you want to send the roses to?
Oh, sure. You can send them to Emily.
Got it. Perfect.
Whew.
Wonderful.
Okay. Are you ready for some interesting information, Ryan?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
That's my supervisor.
Yeah, well, this whole thing is just it's a trap. It's a fake. It's a trick. It is not a real survey. There's no roses, but we really wanted to find out. Let me explain who I am. So we're on the radio. We're over at KDWB, and we wanted to see, Ryan, who you would send roses to. That's kind of a funny bit, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and you did choose Emily. And the funny thing is, Emily is listening right now because Emily wanted you to choose. Say hi, Emily.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi.
Hi.
Yeah, surprise. So it's all been a trap. But Emily was a little bit weirded out. She just told us what we'll call the breast milk story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 So after hearing about this, Emily, tell Ryan kind of what you had told us.
I mean, Ryan, it just gave me the ick. I mean, I told them about the video, and there's no way you should be drinking another woman's breast milk or have a video of it. And I'm just like, why? I'm telling them, like, why would you take a video that feels so intimate? Why would you not tell me about it? Why would you sit there with her boob out and take a video? Like, if you did, why wouldn't you come home and just tell me, like, so, like, casually, like, never believe what Catherine did today. It's crazy. So,
all good questions, Ryan. I mean, it's none of my business, but I mean, we're all here. What is your response to that?
I mean, I thought it was funny. I didn't really think it was a big enough thing to bring home.
Did you drink the coffee?
Yeah, I mean that's like the punchline.
That's the punchline.
Yeah, Ryan, like this is so too weird for me. I just I can't get over the fact that you just drink a coworker's breast milk and the video, and I'm just gonna take a little time for me and like be with the weirdness of what happened, and I just think we need a break right now so I can get clear on all the above. It feels too strange.
I think that's valid.
Now.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for saying that.
Yeah. How do you feel about that, Ryan? Are you still sticking to your guns like she's overreacting?
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I just
Okay. Well,
I just think it's
I
funny.
and the fact you don't think it's a big deal is a good enough reason for me to take a little space, I think, right now.
Okay. What do you think about this one? Is it okay? We get a lot of responses on this one. So he was basically, his coworker put breast milk into his coffee. She thought, well, there must be a more intimate relationship. And he's like, no, it's gay. You're really overreacting to this whole thing. So there's a lot of responses from people who are saying, I would never.
Well, somebody did text in, and I read it earlier, that said, who is the father of this baby? I can't imagine he would find it funny. And then someone else texted in saying maybe he is the father of the baby.
Oh my gosh. Cody's on the phone.
Cody, what about the breast milk and the coffee and the coworker? What do you think, Cody?
Oh, gosh. So I work at, let's just say, a sports bar downtown. And, they're long shifts, a lot of things going on. One of my coworkers who recently had a baby is pumping and begging and saving her milk. And one day she was like, I feel like I pumped more milk than this. And we were like, what? And she's like, no, this was definitely like full. And so we watched the cameras, and one of the other bartenders was caught going in there and pouring it into a glass and like chugging her breast milk.
Oh, no. Wow. Chugging, just to, like, just pouring a pint glass full of breast milk and I can see it like pouring down the corners of his mouth. What happened to this coworker anyway?
Well, he doesn't work there anymore, but that's not why. He was still there for a while, and the craziest thing is, after this incident, she would, give him breast milk to drink, and he would make, chocolate milk at work, and it was just the weird, he's married, and it was just this whole thing. I was like, what is happening?
I wonder, to me, as an ignorant male, I think of breast milk as such a personal, intimate thing but I know that women will sell their breast milk to other women. To me, again, ignorant male, to me, that's just weird. It's giving your baby somebody else's breast milk. And trust me, I know it's done and I know it's a good thing.
Yeah.
But I'm an immature 12-year-old at heart. And to me, it's icky.
Well, sometimes they need it. If you don't express enough yourself.
Understand. Yeah, for sure.
But then to go.
My husband and I actually adopted twins, and I've been on the show a couple of times, but we adopted twins, and we've had donated breast milk before. And even that, I'm just like, this is just so personal. Thank you so much for giving us something yeah, it's just very personal. I don't know. It was just the weirdest thing I think I've ever experienced at work.
Yeah, you and I are. It is definitely because to me it's a personal bodily fluid, and I know it's breast milk and it's not sexual, but it's still personal.
Yeah.
But then again, we'll take a stranger's blood if you are in a car accident and get your femur lopped off, and now you're spurting blood everywhere. They're going to give you blood.
That's a little different.
Yeah, probably. And there's so many different levels of weird. It's the number one rule that you don't eat or drink someone else's food or drinks in the fridge. And this guy's not only doing that, but also taking prized breast milk.
Yeah, but then she would make some for him, and then he would make a milkshake out of it.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
Hey, is it Cody?
Yep. Cody. Yep.
Yeah.
Cody, we love you. Thanks for being on the show.
Love you guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Text messages. Gym bros buy breast milk for the gains. So women will sell their breast milk to bodybuilders to bulk up because it's all protein.
Wow.
I mean, right?
Yeah, I mean, don't ask me. I don't know the breakdown of breast milk.
Jenny, you're a gym bro. You should start doing breast milk.
You have breasts. Tell us about
breast milk. Yeah.
Macros.
I am a gym bro. You're right. I get my protein in every day. Let me go get my smoothie right now. They're made of carbs, proteins, and fats, which are the three macros that you do want to focus on. So that would make a lot of sense.
Here's a text that says, y'all are overreacting. Humans are raised in other species' breast milk, so we do drink cow and goat milk or whatever. It's weird how human breast milk thing is weird. Okay, if I was the only one that thought it was weird, then I would be the weird one. But I'm not the only one. And it's not weird. It's just
Strange.
Yeah. I would
it's
not want Susan like pumping breast milk when she had babies and like giving it to the guys down at the office and going, oh, it's natural. You know, we drink cow's milk. Why not Susan milk?
Right. Well, the thing with this is that if I'm not going to go on a coffee run with a cow sitting in my passenger seat and the cow goes, hey, you want to know what's funny? Here, let me put some of my milk into your coffee. And I'll be like, oh, yeah. That's what's weird is that it's a person that I'm having a conversation with, and they whip out their boob, which usually is covered up. A cow's boob is never covered up, and so it's not weird.
True.
And they
Cows
can't
have
speak
boobs?
English, and they can't speak
Cow
to
can't
me.
fit in the car either.
And they can't fit in the car.
Yeah.
Famously.
Hey, Alyssa.
Yeah, hi.
If you just turn the radio on, Alyssa's calling because on War of the Roses, she busted her boyfriend basically drinking his coworker's breast milk out of his coffee. They were both complicit in this one. She's like, do you want me to squirt it in your coffee? He's like, yeah, I'll try it. So there's a video. She found the video, and she's like, why are you and your coworker sharing her breast milk? Oh, it's funny. I just tried. It's funny. What a big deal. What did you want to say about it, Alyssa?
I just wanted to say, like, as a breastfeeding mom and pumping a lot, I think it's kind of funny if somebody would have taken a shot. I mean, not like straight out of the boob, but if somebody was like, I dare you to take a shot, and they were like, all right, I would have found it kind of funny.
So let's say you're working down at XYZ Auto, and there you are, you're in the break room, and you're like, oh, you know what'd be funny is for you, Troy, to try a shot of my breast milk, and Troy's like, all right, I'm game. You think that's funny?
Yeah, it would be kind of
Okay.
funny.
Now, isn't that interesting how people have different attitudes
And
about
that's
it?
fine. But Alyssa, are you letting Troy take a video of you doing it?
I mean, not coming out of the boob, but, like, if there was, like, just, like, a little thing already pumped, like a shot,
Yeah.
like a dare,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be funny. But
That's a funny
like,
bit.
Right out of the boob. But, like, drinking breast milk is kind of weird, but, like, if somebody just wanted to take a sip or try it, I don't know.
YOLO.
It's natural.
It is all natural.
I like that they keep
That's true.
saying right out of the boob, like it's right out of the tap.
Yeah.
Yeah, just give me, I'll take some breast milk
Close
out the
the
tap.
spout.
Yeah.
Thank you, Alyssa. There's another text. We're going to wrap this up pretty soon here and move on with our lives. I don't think that human breast milk is the weird part. The weird part is he saw his coworker's nurple. He filmed it.
Yeah.
He filmed it and never said anything. I think that's the weird part. You could put some in a cup in the bathroom and come back and stick it in his coffee. The fact that he wanted to do the whole thing and with somebody there, that's what's intimate.
Yeah.
But then again, some people don't see boobs as intimate. So what about that argument? Boobs are not intimate.
Well,
they are just boobs. So stop making them intimate.
Well, someone texted saying it's weird he recorded it. That's the weird part. But also, I mean, there's a lot of weirdness about it. I think it just depends on what you think is weird and how many aspects of this story is weird. So I definitely see where Emily is coming from, where she's like, you know what? I'm good. I think I'm going to take a break. Makes sense. She can go and think about
To
it.
kind of figure the whole thing
Yeah.
out. All right, I told you this War of the Roses would spark some conversation. Talk about it with your coworkers at work and say, did you hear War of the Roses today? What did you think of that? There's your conversation starter.